behind the scenes footage. Is that what he said?
I think so, yeah.
Was it Mr. Rogers?
I think so.
Hello, didn't see you there. Let me grab my sweater. That's Mr. Rogers.
He like
Welcome back.
opens the door.
What's up?
He like opens the door.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. He puts his shoes on.
Mhm.
Welcome back. Day 2.
Mhm.
That's Instagram right there. You're on Instagram. You're also going to be on the David Cam, which we may have to adjust, but as of right now, it has got like your whole setup there. All right. Hello. Welcome back. Day 2. Volante ninth birthday stream. David is currently wearing the piece that he was working on yesterday. Yeah. If you want to be totally in the frame, you can walk over here in front of this camera.
You can
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
like-
yeah. Also, is your microphone on? Okay. David's microphone is not on yet, but that's okay. There you go. Okay, this is you right here. There you go. Perfect. Look at that.
Show it off another time.
Oh my gosh, I knew it was going to break. That's fine. The David cam's still on. All right, go back to the David cam. We can boost the brightness of the main cam here. Okay, so David is going to be sewing a new piece today. Wow. Oh yeah, you look good. We can see you on your camera there. We can't see the hood or anything, but when you sit down, we'll be able to see it. Oh yeah, definitely. Very nice, very nice. So David is currently wearing what he had on yesterday, or what he was working on yesterday. Wait, you have to turn your mic on. Is it on? Interesting, very interesting. The light's on? Make sure that we're on here as well. Yes, we reset up the cameras to make them a little more focused on Dave, or a lot more focused on David and what he's doing. Aha, I have to set the device. This would be the rear panel. There we go. All right, David, you should be good now. Perfect.
Cool. Well, today what I'm working on is called, tentatively, but maybe not entirely tentatively, the Namahage cloak, which is named after, it's a rain cloak that is named after a type of Japanese demon. So it's going to be in the ninja collection. And, well, you'll see when it's done, but it is using the same material as the Jonin, which is this high-tech waterproof fabric. The outside shell has a water-repellent finish to it. The back has this sort of black mesh, which is also water-repellent. And then in between those two layers is a polypropylene membrane that is waterproof and breathable. So those 3 layers of like protection that I'll do, it's super cool. You can just put, we were talking about it yesterday, you could just put water right in here and it would just stay. It could just sit there and never wet my hand, which is super cool. Part of this cloak, because it's waterproof, I wanted to use waterproof zippers, which means I have to put together some zippers. I got my pulls and my zipper tape here. And I want to show, this is the toque. It was once a fork, now it is just a toque.
I was gonna say, is it a fork?
Yeah. There are really expensive ways of getting these that are like totally unnecessary, because all you need is 2 prongs and some way of attaching it to the table. So I've got a C-clamp and I've bent it around the bottom so I can just sort of tighten it up here. Once I put it on here. And now it's here, so I can put that.
Apologies if y'all can hear lots of stuff happening in the background. There is lots of stuff happening in the background currently, so.
Let's see.
For me, the camera's the same thing it was yesterday.
What's that? I want this. Yeah. I'm trying to remember how I wanted to put these on, because they have, this is the operator system zipper tape, so it's got our print on it. So I want to have it so that the pull is going in a specific direction. Sometimes this can be a little bit of a challenge, especially when I'm doing it with people watching. Yeah, there we go. So then this one, I'm going to want it like that, which means I want it like that. Great.
All right, David, we do have our first question for you. Somebody asked, how long did it take you to design and implement that high-tech fork situation?
I mean, the design is fairly simple. Probably took me, I don't know, 20 minutes. It's one of those things where you're like, first you have to go shopping, and then you realize that an official version of this looks like a fork and is $150, and you're just like, well, I've got a fork, and I got 20 minutes, and I've got some like tin snips or something to cut off the extra tines. Let's see.
Is it a specific kind of fork or just like a was there something you
It was
went out
just
and
one
looked
of the. It was just one of the office forks. It was the one that I felt like was the cheapest, because then I just used some pliers to bend it all funny. But yeah, I think probably 20 minutes, and then I sanded off the edges because you're putting your fingers right up against those raw edges of metal and trying not to slash yourself. All right, we're done with that now.
We have so many. I have so many elements on the screen here that I'm like trying to manage all of them and keep an eye on them, but like it's somewhat difficult to do. I don't have enough screen real estate here. Need some more.
We continue to upgrade our setup now. Obviously, we've made that look a little bit different. The actual presentation of the stream is a little bit more refined.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So currently, I have OBS open. Obviously, that includes the audio mixer to make sure that we're all not going over the limits that we have set. I've also got YouTube open for the chat. I've got some live stream questions we're going to be discussing later, also open. And then I have Discord open as well because people like to ask questions there. So we're trying to manage all of these at once. And
you're doing great.
No, not really.
Well, you'll do great.
I appreciate your confidence.
So yesterday that was the first time I'd made that product, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and exactly how I wanted to do it. This is the second time I've made it, and it's kind of months later, and I have much less of a memory of how I did it the first time, and I'm trying to recreate it. I could go get the sample, but that would be easy mode, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, so if y'all have any questions on YouTube or Instagram, so I will get up periodically and check Instagram questions. Somebody said you're doing great. Thank you guys for joining. I will get up periodically to check Instagram questions. I can also see YouTube questions. Also have Haley here today on cam.
Hello.
We have her.
Back.
Yeah, she was behind the camera last time. I've also got. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate. Someone said you're doing your best and that counts. Well, I'll take that in a positive way. I appreciate it. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask them on YouTube. Feel free to ask them on Instagram, although I won't be checking that quite as frequently. I would say I would open another window so I could see the Instagram questions. But I'll have an aneurysm, I think, if that happens. So.
Too many
It's
browsers.
gonna be okay if we can't.
I'll get it figured out, I'm sure. But
We got a whole week.
It's a good way to plug our Discord, though. Then they can go into Discord and then ask.
That's
yeah,
right.
thank you. Yes, we don't have a link for our Discord. Oh, I can put it in the chat here.
Mm-hmm. It's also in our Instagram bio as well.
Thank you, Haley. Wait. There's a way to do an invite to the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Go up here. Haley, you have to tell me.
And then invite people.
The big invite people setting.
Yep. And then you go down to copy.
So yesterday someone asked what my favorite part of sewing was. I was more or less able to answer that, but I know exactly what my least favorite part of sewing is. And that is setting zippers.
Oh yeah, I think you sort of you said something to that effect yesterday. You didn't really get into it, but you were kind of offhandedly said like, and then you get to the zipper and you're like, time to die. Like, you didn't really elaborate too much.
Oh, speaking of advancements over yesterday, I think we realized that we forgot to say why we were doing these live streams.
Yes, we said that this morning. So all week until Monday.
Midnight Monday.
Midnight on Monday. So I guess midnight Sunday night, Monday morning. Or is it midnight on Monday?
Midnight on Monday.
Oh, so all day Monday too. So technically more than a full week. Because it went live at 8 a.m. on Monday. 10% off site-wide. Everything except for masks, I think, are the only thing.
All but face masks.
Yes. But yeah, 10% off. So the discount is automatically applied. If y'all were looking to pick something up, I mean, 10% is a pretty sizable discount. We very rarely have any kind of discounts or. Yeah,
usually they're about like 2 times a year. Our birthday and Black Friday.
Yes. So if there's something you had your eye on, maybe you've had it in your cart for a while, if you're like me and you just sort of stick it there and don't buy it for a long time, now's your chance. So you probably won't get another chance for maybe like 8 months, if that. So definitely for another year if you wait for the next birthday sale. So.
Yeah, and you can also get free shipping now if your order is above $100, which is really nice.
Yes. So we sent out an email. If you haven't joined our mailing list as well, so there's a link on our website. We have various ways to sign up. Social media, I think there's links there as well. We send out emails, usually like 1 to 2 a week. Usually more in the lines of 2 a week. New releases, new restocks, which we may have something coming up this week, usually on Thursday. Any kind of promotions or anything along those lines are sent out through the emails. So it's a good place to see all that. Yeah, somebody said they're digging the David cam. I appreciate that. If y'all think any adjustments to the David cam would be in order, feel free to let me know. I can tilt it up, I can tilt it down. I think right now it gives a pretty good perspective of what's going on, so. Yeah, we'll make sure here at the end to have David show the piece that he was working on yesterday. We'll have a chance for him to show it off and like really give you a nice close-up view of it here in just a little bit because it looks really cool. He got the hood attached, which honestly the hood is like kind of I think one of my favorite parts to it is the hood.
Also, you don't really see a lot of vests with hoods, so.
Yeah, it would definitely go well with a other jackets or other pieces.
Mhm.
So I'm just trying to do some setup stuff right now. Like, zippers and things like, we talked about yesterday a little bit, like it is easiest to do the quick and easy things first, or like not quick and easy, the parts that will slow down the process later. So I'm trying to get those done. Now I'm working on I think I can pretty much just finish the hood as early as possible and just have it sitting there ready to go for when it's time to put it in. And part of the benefit of doing the parts that I'm doing right now early is that I can have a zipper foot on, which is different from our regular sort of seam foot. And then I can change it back to finish the whole thing all at once.
The audio is good on your. There's like nothing to change
Cool.
on the audio on your phone, I guess. Like it just automatically comes on. Yeah, we apologize. So we didn't really get a chance. We do have the adapter here. We were debating on setting up a microphone for our Instagram stream, but unfortunately, since it is mobile, it would be kind of difficult to implement and be able, because we're sitting, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell from this perspective, but we're against the wall, and then we've got kind of like our cameras in the middle, and then David is sitting on the other side, like away from us. And then the phone is kind of in the middle, so it'd be really difficult to get like nice omnidirectional sound and also not pick up the like 1, 2, 3 machines and the cutter and David's machine. I think that's probably what's interfering with the phone is probably just like inundated with noise right now, so it's having a hard time overcoming that.
If it turns out that have we watched the Instagram stream? Do we know how it sounded?
I took a look and it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Yes, the hood is removable. Somebody
No.
asked.
It's not.
Not on the vest you made yesterday?
On the vest it is.
Yeah,
but
on the
not
vest
on
yesterday,
this.
the hood's removable. It's got like snap enclosures, right, Ethan?
Yeah.
Yes, so snaps on it.
On this cloak though, it's because it's waterproof. I figured a removable hood sort of defeats some of the purpose of that. It's not easy to make that be really sound.
Also, I feel like cloaks usually have a hood attached.
Yeah.
It's like adds to the drama.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having some drama in your cloak.
Yeah.
Someone said it's a cool idea as long as the hood is removable, like on most of your products. Like, I like the idea that a removable hood is I
mean, it's always been a thing for me.
Yeah. Oh, I think there's a lot of times when I want to wear a hood, and then a lot of times I'm angry that the thing that I want to wear has a hood on it that I can't take off. So definitely get that.
I always have the opposite problem where like I always buy jackets that don't have a hood, and I always need a hood.
Exactly. See?
Yeah. Plus, when I moved up here, I knit a really nice wool like watch cap, like watchman's cap or whatever they're called, like a really thick one. And when it is really cold and windy, it's so nice to have a cap and then a hood to go over the top of it. But when it's not cold, that hood is just sort of like in the way and can be a little bit lumpy, or at least, you know. Yes, so today we've upped our overlay game. So we have what David's making today. We have him as the star attraction instead of me. We have chat, live chat as well. So if you have any questions, you know, we can see that pretty easily. And then, like we said a little bit ago, we are having a sale, which we completely neglected to mention yesterday, unfortunately.
Well, you know, we refine it. We do these, you know, 4 in a row. I think when we first started doing live streams, like at the beginning of the pandemic, we were like, we're just going to do a live stream every day until we figured it out. All right.
Well, we can turn on. I think we can turn on captions for the stream. I will try to turn on captions for the stream. I don't know if we have to. Maybe we have to turn them on before the stream actually starts. Tell you what, we'll take a break at the like 45-minute mark. Well, I don't want to close 2 streams. Although it would be nice to have captions on for people that would like them. We might. I think it might be okay to start and stop. Nah, I don't know. What do you think? Apparently, you can't turn closed captions on while the stream is live. And we didn't even think about captions. Unfortunately, we definitely should have.
So it can do closed captions live?
Yeah, it does like auto captions.
That's crazy.
Okay, all right, we may have had a little bit of lag there in the stream. We were connected to the wrong Wi-Fi source.
So I expect the view to be kind of silly at a certain point because it's these little parts they're not a lot of fabric, but eventually there's a ton of like material that I have to move around. I'll just be throwing large pieces of fabric.
How many pieces are in this cloak?
Maybe you guys keep. I should ask me before I start the stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yesterday was 40 to 50. Would you say it was more? Would you say it's more or fewer than yesterday's?
Well, this doesn't have a lining, so probably less.
All right, so no lining, so
No
probably
lining.
less.
You get 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 30.
Maybe
there's-
30. Okay.
There's still some complication to it because I wanted to be able to put my arms out through the side of the cloak, so there are armholes. And there's zipper armholes so that when you close it, you can be protected.
Somebody asked how Willow's doing, David.
Better?
Better? Worse?
She's recovering. She's still under, like, she's still down.
Yeah. So she's still not here today, and she really wanted to be a part of. Well, yesterday, also today as well.
But with any luck, she'll be here tomorrow. And she can do the next 2 streams with us.
Someone asked, is there a concept art design art? Do you release concept art design at any point, David? Is that something that you've done in the past or have thought about ever?
Before the company started, that was all there was concept art. I would just draw and then post those drawings. I haven't drawn this one. I guess I made a really rough sketch one time, but it doesn't look at all like what that sketch was. So I would post it, but I haven't actually drawn it. A lot of the time, I just try and my sketch is the first prototype. All right. Oh. It is just this huge pile of black fabric. Which can be kind of hard to discern.
No.
I gotta say, this one, even more so than yesterday, looks like a large square of black fabric.
Well, it's a large trapezoid of black fabric anyway.
Someone asked if we have any new Trek items planned for the near future, or apparently we were really people were very interested in them at Star Trek Chicago this weekend, which is great to hear.
I have some new Trek things that I want to do, which I'll count. It hasn't hit gotten on the. Actually, that's not true. There are some stuff that's on the calendar already, but they're a little different. So, yes, there are Trek things on the calendar, and there are other Trek things that are finding their way onto the calendar as soon as possible. We did just restock the Discovery jackets. Yeah.
Yes.
5-6.
Yes, 2256. We have a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
2256.
There's a lot of uniforms.
It is a lot of uniforms.
A
A lot of shows. A lot of lore
a lot of
there.
time periods covered by Star Trek.
Somebody asked what the scariest thing about using an industrial sewing machine is. I would assume death, but probably not.
Scariest thing about anything?
Oh,
Or is it? Do you fear
depends
death?
on the thing, I guess.
What's the scariest thing about using an industrial machine? I mean, I guess you can sew through your finger with it. It will not stop. Unless you take your foot off the pedal, but there's a shock value that happens when that comes up. I've never done it. None of us have ever done it here, but it is possible. Emily said when she started her last job, which was also at a factory, one of the first days, her boss said, like, "This is your sewing machine. If you work here for any amount of time, you will eventually sew through your finger." It's like she was like, well, maybe I won't though. Maybe I'm gonna try not to.
Like a badge of truth or something, or like a badge of honor or something. Like, I've sewn through my hands 4 times this year. Probably not. It's probably the opposite. You probably get like relentlessly made fun of for it.
I know when I went to college, so I went to fashion focused school, and the designers and the professors that taught design, they were saying that students would put pins in their mouth and accidentally choke on them. Not a good idea. Yeah, they've had a couple of accidents that way. No one I knew.
All right, David, we've been here a little bit. Let me hit you with a ninja question.
Okay.
Because we have, provided by Haley, we have a nice list of our own questions here. What is the meaning, so what is the inspiration for the name of this? Is it based on something? Does it translate to something?
I'm sure it translates to something, but I don't know the translation. It is a type of ogre, usually from the mountains. The Namahage is a big scary mountain ogre, and they tend to be depicted wearing these like the straw cloaks, the waterproof straw cloaks that you see in like a lot of famous things, a lot of famous pieces of media. Ashitaka wears one in Princess Mononoke. It's this sort of reed cloak. And it just is part of the depiction of this type of yokai. So I figured, this is sort of more of a mythological thing for me. That a cloak thing is kind of more of a fantasy thing, even though it is practical. So I thought maybe we could pull some more of that kind of mythological and put that into this piece. So I have the side This is the armhole. It has a zipper on the back, so that you can access it while you're wearing it. This is the inside, so you can have the zipper pull on the inside, and you can open the armhole while wearing it.
Cool.
David's camera could probably use it. Let me see if I can adjust the exposure a little bit.
Because this is such, I mean, this is going to end up basically being a giant tent.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I think it's easier to do. It's got at least like big sections to it. It's easier to do in sections and try and complete them one section at a time. How do I? Yeah. Again, still trying to remember how to put this together. I know how I want to put it together.
All right, there we go. Turn the brightness up on David's camera a bit. Hopefully that will make it a little easier to see the black. It's not like David ever works with anything black, but
Well, when we were talking about all the different possible designs that we could do for this week of live streams, I was like, well, we want to do stuff that's new, and all of our new stuff is going to be black. So I guess we're just making a bunch of black designs. Pretty much it. We want it to be exciting and different, and that's making prototypes is definitely exciting, especially for me.
I know a ton of people in the Discord were saying they were excited to see some new black items, so.
I know, it's not a color I usually like to work with, but...
so on, I like how on YouTube it gives you like health. It says stream health. The stream is healthy. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, let me check Instagram real quick. We haven't taken a look. See if there's any burning questions there. Probably a lot easier to hear when I'm closer to the phone, and also.
Yeah.
All right, somebody's been waiting for a new addition to the Nova Snore line.
Well, that's coming up soon.
So it's cool to see the process.
All right.
We have more cords and more like stuff plugged into the computer. I think so we're on a desktop PC. I think we have every single USB port in the rear panel currently occupied with USB things.
And the top panel.
And the top panel. And also all of the mic inputs. So it's got a front and a rear mic input. So yeah, we are fully loaded there.
This is a pocket. Well, not yet.
This will be a pocket.
This will be a pocket.
So is it a Volante product in black? Shocked. This may be more to you than it does to me. It says somebody said with the color of this material and the concept of a layered straw cloak, I'm imagining something like Eileen the Crow's feather cloak.
Yeah. I didn't do feathers. I didn't cut it into strips. But the idea was that kind of layering to it. So hopefully it'll get a little bit of that too. And it also is a little bit. I mean, it's kind of high-tech inspired because of the waterproof material. So it's trying to pull in, like, it's a Eileen the Crow techwear cloak. Or something.
Can we mention, are there certain, we can talk about stuff, right? Like, there's nothing that we can't talk about.
Well, I'm certain, if anybody was going to have a problem with us talking about things, it would be Disney.
Okay, well, it's not Disney.
It's not Disney, and also they're not watching our stream.
It's Konami. We talk about Konami stuff.
We can talk about Konami stuff.
I've always liked the cloak. You played Metal Gear Solid 2 in the beginning when he jumps off the, and he's got that like invisible cloak and it's raining and it's this sort of like plasticky. I don't even know what to call it. And then he
Yeah,
presses
with the stealth camo.
yeah, he like presses a button and it goes invisible, and all the rain's like bouncing off of it. That was really cool.
Hell yeah. Someday I'll make one of those.
Maybe whenever we get invisibility. Stiff.
It's all cameras and projectors, right?
I think currently, yeah. But that's kind of hard to implement, you know, when you're moving around.
I think I read somewhere that there is a certain type of fabric that uses like little tiny mirrors and it like reflects so it looks kind of invisible, but nothing practical, I don't think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That seems like it would work in very limited locations, like if you were
Yeah.
standing silhouetted against the
yeah, I
sky.
think it was like some kind of military tech
Hmm.
wear thing, but
There you go. Now it's a pocket.
oh,
I'm probably gonna just put this mic down and hook up one of those. They seem a lot more useful than trying to hold this the whole time. Plus, I think this microphone is about. It's probably from like an old karaoke machine, and it's probably kind of old or something. So like every time I move the cord, I see feedback happening.
I'm surprised your hand doesn't like cramp up or whatever.
Yeah, right. Well, I've been putting it down.
Yeah.
Gives me something to do with my hand, though.
The idea of layering, like having the materials be like multiple layers, will definitely be enhanced by the Jonin, because that's already got a lot of layers going on. So I'm not sure if this is too long for you to see any of the Jonin underneath it, but probably a good combo. Especially if the wind is blowing.
Make the genre anymore, though, right? Hee hee hee.
Yes, we do, and they know. Well, we don't. We don't yet, but we
We
will
might.
again.
Maybe.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
I'm assuming you're talking about my hand microphone echoes sometimes. That's fine. I'll take a little echo for the opportunity to look really cool. Might be feedback with your. Might be feedback with your. Although whenever I talk, it doesn't seem like yours is moving, Haley. So that's good. Wait, y'all don't realize how loud it is in here. Well, I mean, it's not that bad, but like there's a lot of moving parts, and so it was really hard to set the audio up. When we do the live stream on Thursdays, it's in the room next door, and it's like there's clothing in there because there's a lot of
Yeah.
moving parts, so it's very like acoustically nice. And all the sound gets absorbed, and we close the doors before we stream.
Yeah.
I mean, we could move my machines over.
No, it's fine. I think it's cool for you over there.
Yeah.
Sounds atmospheric. Actually turned the gate on your mic down a little bit so it's picking up more, like, noise around you.
Hmm.
So you didn't write any questions for yourself, Haley.
I feel like that's strange though. So like, I wonder what to ask myself.
Yeah. Haley wrote a bunch of really nice questions to ask David, to ask other guests that we will have on stream, hopefully at some point this week. But thoughtfully neglected to ask herself questions. Somebody said maybe just move the cutting table. I want to spin the camera around to show you what the cutting table looks like. It is approximately 40 feet long. No, probably longer than that. Maybe 6 feet wide. And it's got, I mean, it's a monster. So,
I mean, the table, not even the machine, the table is 6 feet wide and 30 feet long.
yeah.
And then the machine is a bit wider than that and another 14 feet. So, yeah, you're about right, 40 feet long. So,
You can sort of see it in the top right-hand corner behind David there. That is the closest end of it, and it goes all the way back to the back wall. It's hard to see on the photo the scale of it, but it's a monster. Okay. On Instagram? Or what?
No. I keep clicking like where and it won't.
All right, so apparently someone reported our Instagram live stream, or something. Probably Konami. They heard us talking about Metal Gear Solid, and they.
This is breaking community guidelines.
Ooh, okay, well, sorry about that. Yeah, so, wow, really? So maybe we can check it in a little bit. I don't know if is that what email address is that hooked to? Maybe they'll like send you an email or something.
Yeah, it's on our info link.
All right, we're gonna take a break in about 10 minutes. I think David will continue working. But we'll maybe go see what happened in the Instagram stream and try to get it back up. So apologies if anyone was watching on Instagram or hoping to watch on Instagram.
So, before you go, that's the pocket. This is sort of part of the layering aspect. So this will be sort of free floating, but it is attached along the top here. And then it has this waterproof zipper for the access point. We had considered if it was possible to have a waterproof zipper so you can access it from the inside while you're wearing it. That would be extremely complex, and if possible.
So you could probably answer this, David. Somebody was asking. He said that. I'm assuming they were at Star Trek over the weekend, or maybe last weekend, weekend before. Like the variances between like Jonin version 1 and version 2. Is that something that we've? Oh no. J3 version 1 to 2.
The Augment J3?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, like how large are the differences between the two?
The material is completely different. It is actually a similar material to what I'm using right now, which is this waterproof fabric. And previously, it was a much lighter weight water repellent fabric that wouldn't work in long, like really intense rainstorms. So that was the main thing, was finding this new material. But then there are some other just streamlines to the design that have just, from various years of watching people try it on and getting feedback on it, seemed like they would enhance the design a bit. Most of that stuff you might not notice. Most of it I can't even remember, but I know it was necessary or valuable when I was doing it. So, but really the main thing is the material, the fact that it's this waterproof stuff.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday, and you said that you like balled it up in your hand and like made a little bucket out of it and filled it up with water, and it still held water.
And I've been wanting to. I've known of this fabric for a long time, but the technology was so new, and it was so it was just inaccessible. So I've been very excited to use it and implement it in a bunch of different things, like the Jonin and the J3, because it does. To me, it adds a ton of value, and it has this nice matte finish. It's a little less shiny. Like then the Augment J5, the bomber jacket is kind of shiny looking. I think it would be really cool to make a bomber similar to that out of this stuff, which is more matte, which is more in line with the cottons and stuff that we usually use.
Yeah, I would say that for a piece like that, like the functionality of it is a really important aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the material that we had before was good. It's just I could make it, with this I could make it so much better.
How about one more ninja question before we take a little break? So I like where do you see the ninja collection going? Which I know is a bit of a nebulous question, but is there, when I think of ninja, I think many people have a lot of different ideas about what that means to them.
Sure.
I really like the sort of like tech urban ninja thing. That's a really cool aspect of it, but I know other people see it more as, more like sort of traditional or, different, it's deployed in different ways for different people. So like, do you have any insight you can give us on sort of the direction that you would like to take it? Or no, you can just say no, that's fine too.
I have a qualified no or qualified yes. I don't really know necessarily. The Namahage is one of the directions I want to go with it. I like going a little bit more techie with it, but I've also liked how a lot of the pieces like the tune-in and stuff are less techie. I think it would be really great to have some more easy additions to your outfit, like a hoodie or something like that. That would be something that you can just throw on and have it be a little bit more subtle. Yeah. I've had a couple of different ideas of what we could do with it, but I also have kind of, my original vision of it is sort of fulfilled. I mean, I got the Chunin and the Jonin, the middle and the higher level. I still want to do something for the sort of low level ninja, but and we got the pants. I'd love to do other pants too that are maybe less a little bit more fitted, but not significantly more, somewhere in the middle. I don't know, just playing around with sort of adding to the what you can do with it, what the value for individual customers.
Yeah, I like the idea of versatility. I think is
Hmm.
an interesting
Right,
concept.
the Ninja is kind of able to adapt to any situation. Or at least that's the myth of the Ninja. And so I kind of would like to embody that, or this collection to embody that a little bit more. Could also see going a lot more mythological. Doing the Namahage is sort of part of that, but there could be Oni and other like yokai or demons or something like that would be a lot of fun to play with. Just coming up with ideas based on those concepts.
All right, so I think that Haley and I are gonna go take a break and see if we can maybe wrestle up somebody else to be on stream. Definitely take a look at the Instagram snafu, see what's going on there. And so yeah, we'll be right back in just a bit. David, I guess, is gonna continue working.
I'll just carry on.
David's a machine, so we'll be right back.
Yeah. Another what? No. But we can get one. Or maybe, does it have a plug on the back? It probably does. Maybe you could just take one from the machine that's not being used right now. Especially now that it's not winter anymore. Yeah. Yeah. I believe, still mic'd up here, so my mic I think is still running. But that's all right. It's totally fine. This camera is still running. I'm just quietly working away while they're on a little bit of a hosting break. So no, it's fine. I don't know if there are any comments going on at the moment. So okay. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. It's a ASMR. So in this design, I on the shoulder panel, like just up here, I put like 2 layers of material. I'm not sure if it's really going to add to the waterproofing because the material is already so protective, but can't hurt, and it definitely adds to the style of it and gives it a little bit of structure in the shoulders.
All right, I'm back. Haley is trying to figure things out with the Instagram stream. Not quite sure what happened. I think we got like reported for some reason. What that was all about. So
It doesn't tell you what.
maybe not right away. We were looking for an email or some kind of a thing in app, but they just said like you have been reported for violating terms of service or something. Your stream has been terminated, and then like that was it. So
Fascinating.
yep. Also, yeah, David's mic is always hot, just because it's kind of cool to hear that David said it's now an ASMR stream, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it does mean that when people ask me questions, I answer them. That gets heard, but that's okay because that's the real situation here. There are questions that need to be answered.
Let me ask if this is closer to a poncho. And I want to know what the difference between a poncho and like a cloak or a cape is. Is there a difference?
Presumably.
Presumably.
I bet there is. I feel like a poncho. I don't know of any like traditional ponchos that would have a hood. Although obviously that the definition has changed over time. So like a rain poncho has a hood.
The plastic ones that you buy in a little
Yeah,
bag
it's
have
basically
hoods.
just a trash bag that you put on.
Yeah.
Yeah, those have a hood, right? But we were just in Mexico and there were ponchos everywhere. And I guess those are closed all the way around. Some of them are closed all the way around and some of them aren't, so maybe that has nothing to do with the definition. The cloak might have a clasp at the neckline. So maybe this is more of a poncho than a cloak.
It's all right. We don't have to call it a poncho.
I'm okay calling it a poncho.
Okay. All right. We have Robin joining the stream currently. That's your mic right there. Put it on however is most comfortable for you. Yep. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. No, it's not hot yet. Mine is, but you are in the video. It's good. I knew you're in the video. So we talked a little bit already about what the name means. It's a cave troll, a troll,
Yeah, an ogre.
an ogre.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a direct correlation or a direct sort of translation of something. All right, All right, you guys should be hot now.
Cool.
One of y'all say something, so we'll see if it picks up the other.
Hello?
Hello.
See the line's going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to turn the gate up on Robin's mic a little bit. And there we go. Let's try that. Haley, say something.
Hello.
Robin, say something.
Hello.
Maybe a little bit higher on yours. There we go. All right, much better. All right, so this is the stream. We're just hanging out.
Very cool. What's the topic?
I have some questions for you that Haley came up with.
Hope I get them right.
Well, I don't think they're right or wrong kind of questions, but
I feel like that sound might be getting heard. That's
no.
every once in a while, because the cutting table uses suction to hold the fabric in place while it's moving around, and it's got a layer of plastic on top of that. And every once in a while, the layer of plastic hits just right, and the air that's like trying to pull it down is getting through, and you get this nice like whistling or what it's just like this. Sometimes it's a terrible noise. Other times, this is like almost pleasant. It's still a little weird, but.
All right, so we have some questions for Robin. I am picking up on both of your mics, so I'll just stay over here. Question number 1, what's it like working at Volante Design? Take that however you will.
Okay, cool. It's very fun and definitely different than other things that I've done. It's nice to work with small staff, 11 people, I think we have now.
Yeah.
Count in
I
my
think
head.
so,
Yeah,
too.
so it's really nice, and we all get to do a huddle every morning, which I like. We get to state our priority for the day, appreciation. Very community-oriented job. My role is a little bit different than some of the creative stuff that does, but it's still fun to be surrounded by something.
Right. Lost camera for a second. We always have such. All of us have had. It's like we have ready-made answers, right? Like, people asked us the same questions yesterday. Ours weren't exactly the same, our answers, but you got a nice answer ready to go. Just say.
Yeah, well, now that I've been here for 5 months, I feel like I've answered that question a few times.
Yeah,
So
right?
getting my answer down the way I want it.
Very cool. Okay, next question. What's so you said your role was a little bit different. So tell us a little bit about like what you work on, what you're currently working on, what you I know you've had a lot of things here lately. Like you explained QCing to me earlier, and I was like, oh, wow, that sounds like a lot. It's like what are you working on? What does your sort of day-to-day look like or
My day-to-day. So my role is admin assistant, and I'm also training to be HR assistant as well. Some of the bigger things I'm working on are surrounding those things, but I'm a big support role, so a lot of what I do is supporting the departments. For instance, QC, quality control, that's a support role for the production team. I help out when they need it to help them go through all the jackets or shirts. Make sure they're up to par before the warehouse. And a lot of my day-to-day is also in the warehouse. I do a lot of the shipping. So anybody received a shipment within the past couple months, I likely packed that well. And keeping things organized in there. Day-to-day can be a little bit different.
yeah, you had to so I mean the other day for the you've made multiple trips to the city like since I've been here even. You just like randomly drive to New York and then you're back by like 2 p.m. and you know.
Lots of different stuff.
It seems like a lot. It seems like a lot though.
Sometimes it's in driving in the van, and sometimes it's doing reports, and yeah, I like. Did you have to answer that question?
That is kind of the fun part of being in a small group because it's like you don't have too much of. There's always something else to do.
Exactly.
Like there's a place to be helpful somewhere.
Yeah, and a lot of us even. I mean, Haley and I, right? Like, we have specific job titles, but we're doing a live stream now, and we work on various other things too. So definitely just sort of like fill the role of whatever's needed at the moment, I guess, which is nice. Can be nice. Certainly keeps you from doing like the same thing every single day.
Right,
Cool.
yeah.
What was it like being turned into a Discord emoji? So, if those of you that haven't joined our Discord, which you should, we added 9. It was actually a little bit more than 9, but 9 emojis, and one of them was Robin making a heart shape with her hands, and then I took a photo of it, and we put some red inside the heart so you could see that, and turned her into a Discord emoji, but. David was also turned into one. Willow was turned into one. Your thumb was turned into one.
I know, I was a hand model.
Yeah. And we were like, when you do a thumbs up and it's like not connected to the rest of your body, it's like, what does a thumb look like? There for a minute, we were
I don't know.
a little concerned. So what was it like being turned into a Discord emoji?
I actually haven't seen it.
Oh, here, I'll show it to you. People use it all the
The
time.
process was fine. It was just, pose for a picture, but
It's become the de facto heart emoji on the server. So it just looks like that. I mean, it's an emoji, so you can barely see it, but
is it exactly what I'm wearing today? A picture?
it looks like I think you have a jacket on.
Maybe I have a sweater on.
Yeah, sweater on.
That's fun. I saw the one.
Yeah, that's so. Again, the other day I was I don't remember where I was, but it was in Microsoft Paint, and somebody said something, or I said something on Instagram like David looks the same in every selfie that he takes. he's like perfectly angled at the same, like he looks exactly the same. And so I cut him out of the photo and like photoshopped him into a couple of other photos. One of them being him in front of BTS. And like it ended up looking, I thought it looked okay, but it's like everyone's favorite emoji for some reason, but it has no, like emojis are supposed to mean some kind of emotion, but it doesn't really mean anything, but everyone's like, this is my favorite. I couldn't live without it anymore. And I'm like, oh, it's just David photoshopped in front of a photo of BTS.
I thought it was supposed to be like, I'm a hyped up fan for BTS.
Yeah, some people
it's
said
open to such a broad interpretation.
Yeah, some people are like, this is whenever David is like doing, he's like behind the scenes. Somebody said that reminds them of behind the scenes, so they.
Just because of BTS.
Oh yeah.
But also, it's like you got like an exclusive look with the band too. So even though you were wearing your mask, you should have taken it off. That way we could have seen him. In the photo, he has a mask on because he was in Anaheim.
Because I was at the concert and you were supposed to wear masks, but they didn't.
BTS. All a bunch of rule breakers, what they are, I think. I don't know. So yeah, that's like our most popular emoji for some reason. I don't know.
So are these emojis gonna end?
No, they're on the server. I mean, we could take them off, but we're planning.
We're gonna just
Timeline?
add. We're only gonna add.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
never.
it's a forever one.
You can put 500, I think, on there,
Yeah, so we'll just
and
keep
then
adding.
100 animated and 500 static. So I don't think we have plans to.
Sounds like you have.
Yeah.
We're gonna need more employees to take pictures.
Yeah.
Just for emojis, more employees.
Next question. Which of our IPs are your favorite? Like intellectual property, so like lines of clothing.
Oh, okay.
IP stands for intellectual property.
Okay, all right.
Right?
Oh,
It does.
It does.
I think
But you're referring to the clothing.
MSCB, you mean like lines. I mean, you
Well,
wrote the question.
I know. I think there was a typo. I was talking about like licensed products. Like, do you have a favorite?
Gotcha.
Yes, I do. Since like, let me think for a sec. I mean, the Assassin's Creed stuff is most for me. It's not for me, but like that's the one that I vibe with the most because I love Assassin's Creed and I love the style. But speaking only to licensed stuff, I just think the Star Trek stuff is really exciting. We have so much of it, and I think it's really cool that the designs have been able to incorporate the different Star Treks rather than just one of them. So I really appreciate it. But probably Assassin's Creed is. Oh, that's me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like the colors of the Assassin's Creed stuff. And I have a hard time speaking about like lines because there's been so much stuff that's like was created, well, even between the time that you were here and like I haven't seen a lot of things that other people have seen. So they'll talk about things and I'm like, oh, what's that? Like, oh, it's this thing we did 6 months ago, and I'm like, oh, cool. I've never seen that before. I don't know what it is.
Well, I think it's cool that I don't know, that we've been able to have so much of specifically Assassin's Creed and Star Trek, whereas like some of the other ones, I feel like one of that. Like the Zaga Code, that was like one of.
Yeah. I mean, for me, a lot of these like Master of Wills and Zaga and stuff, it's like I liked it and I wanted to work with them and it was like it's sort of an homage and it's just like we'll pick one and we'll do that one and then it's like sometimes I have like a whole collection say Assassin's Creed, it's like I've got two different collections I want to do with Assassin's Creed.
Mhm.
The sort of modern stuff and the legacy character inspired stuff too. So there's just so much content to work with,
Yeah. To
and
be
so
fair.
much of it that I like associate with,
Yes, it seems like some of your just kind of natural style can just really fit into Assassin's
There's that too.
I do forget how many Assassin's Creed because I think I've played 3 of them, but there are way more than 3. So to your point about there just being more content, that makes
Yeah,
just like Star Trek. There's a lot of content for that.
it's been around for a while.
Yeah. What was your answer?
For me, I would say, I didn't even think about that. I would have to say, maybe it wouldn't be, okay. Actually, I'm gonna change it. I say Devil May Cry. Only because, like, the coats are so cool, and it, like, made me want to play the game. Like, after seeing the coats, because I didn't really know much about it, and then, like, after doing some research and, like, writing, like, social copy and whatnot, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I really want to play these games now.
It's a really good.
And, like, the storylines are very, like, I feel like the coats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a game that I haven't played. But it did make me. There's the inspiration. And the Virgil is probably one of my favorite coats. Every time someone puts a Virgil on, I'm like, wow, that looks so good on you.
Yeah.
It's really hard to balance microphones when people are sitting right next to one another.
Oh, should
Yeah.
we sit?
No, it's fine because it's just a learning process. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get it to where like it doesn't make noise whenever I speak, or only when the person who's speaking speaks, and yet still be sensitive enough that it picks up what they're saying. It's like right now I'm echoing in yours, which I shouldn't be.
Did anybody online answer what their favorite line was?
I don't know. I don't think we've asked. I mean, if anybody would like to tell us what their favorite line is, I don't think it's something we've really discussed. I mean, I know that the Devil May Cry is like obviously very popular with a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people, when I got all the questions from over the weekend, a lot of people were asking, like, they really wanted to know, like, what are our favorite products? What are our favorite lines? Like, favorite games? It was, like, a lot. And it is interesting to hear what other people's opinions are.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably have things that you have to get to, maybe?
Yeah, was that the last question?
Oh, wait. Was it? No, there's one more. Are you playing any video games currently?
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Yeah, similar topic. I am. I'm always playing Diablo. And then I've recently restarted Breath of the Wild. And I'm also kind of always playing Valheim too, which everybody's familiar with Valheim.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
That's like my core, and then once in a while I'll break out and try something new. Like I tried Hades a little bit a while ago, but it's hard to get off of the games that you just.
Yeah, definitely. I played quite a bit of Diablo. Valheim, that's the like open world kind of crafty Viking set in a Viking.
Yeah, like open worlds, Viking. It's cool. Yeah, it's kind of like a stripped down open worlds game, which is it's really.
Okay. All right. Well,
thanks for having me. What was I just on? Just YouTube or Instagram as well?
Just YouTube right
Yeah,
now.
just
Just YouTube right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Instagram is still, although the video is recorded, so it'll be on YouTube.
Is YouTube also live?
Yeah, we're live right now to.
I don't know anything about the internet.
Well, just a minute ago, it was like it's like 23 people a minute ago, but we've had 65 like unique viewers.
And are they able to interact with you? Like, live?
So we have stream chat. So this is the chat itself. We've been answering questions. People kind of like hopped on and then hopped back off a little bit. It is hard, I know, because of like the time of day that it is. It's a little difficult, right? Like middle of the afternoon. So I saw some people say things like, we have to go to work. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had some interaction to begin with. Probably a little bit more later too, as we like get a little closer to getting finished.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
Unclip this and try not to
Yeah, sure.
make too much noise with it.
All right, you're muted. You're good to go.
It's up to you. You can leave it here.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about right.
Yeah, you can leave it. I can bring it back later.
This is starting to become very tent-like. I'm ending up, now I have a ton of big pieces to sort of work with.
I'm going to. I see the vest that David made yesterday. So I'm thinking that I might go grab it and move the camera a little bit, and because I saw a lot of people that were like, I want to see what it looks like.
What was that?
The vest that he made yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna go grab it and throw it on real quick, I think. Adjust the camera so we can see it.
Yeah.
That's this.
Darn it.
All right, so I have the other side. So that's the horizontal. Would be the one on the outside. Yep, right there. If you would come up, oh, you can see the view in the back. So
Yeah.
as you can see, this is the crow vest that David sewed yesterday. It's a little small for me, so the buttons don't button all the way as well as they should. David is like a size below me. But you can see the buttons here. I'll put the mic down and show you the hood and everything too. So like David was saying yesterday, the hood shape you can see back here in the back is really like it's made in a way to where it sort of pushes the hood forward on your head, so it doesn't just sort of lay there the way that you would with like a, I think we said like a hoodie or something maybe. So it's really like form fitting to the back of your head, which is really nice. And then like I said yesterday, it's got these snaps. So it is frame here. It is actually detachable. So I'll go ahead and detach it. We've got the snaps there as well. So it is fully removable. Ah. I really like the detail on the back of the hood here. See that? Yeah. And then, you know, once you remove the hood, you have just the vest itself. Yeah, the buttons are also like metallic too. Can't really hear them, but they're like really nicely textured. It's probably not in focus. I'm at f8. I don't know if it's in focus or not, but like, yeah, the buttons are really nicely textured. So, and it has 2 pockets that we saw him sewing yesterday, and it's got these interior pockets as well, because David does not mess around when it comes to putting pockets on things. Got the 1 pocket on the inside. Nice deep interior pocket. It is lined, and then it's got the pockets themselves on the outside. So yeah, that's the crow vest, as we are calling it now. It's the code name for it.
So, is this I guess, at this point, I guess you could call it this a sleeveless poncho?
Yeah.
It's just like I guess it's a hooded tabard. Like I'm a knight.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's a tabard, right, but with a hood. Yeah. For a knight from that era, like an assassin who is also a knight. Oh. Who gets caught in the rain a lot, but not enough to worry about his arms being wet.
Well, you know, the arms, you have to have free motion to, you know, do knight stuff.
Yes. I always love putting on things when they're half finished and going in and being like, what do you think? You know, and Willow's always like, that looks ridiculous, and I cannot imagine it looking good at any point.
Is that how you got the coat?
Yeah, it's like, that was the one time where I put it together and I was like, what do you think? She was like, that looks great, ship it.
Yeah.
And you're like, joke's on you, it's not designed to look good. Ha ha ha. You just like run away. Also, for those of you that weren't here yesterday, the vest that I showed off, Dave had the pieces cut, but he sewed it all together in like less than 2 hours. It was really like an hour 45, honestly. Although we did take a little bit of time to like put the snaps on the hood because the machine was occupied. That probably took like 5 minutes though. So
yeah, I finished the rest of it before going home yesterday. So
yeah,
an extra 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah, and and again, if you've ever held any of our pieces before or seen them in person, like it's just as heavy quality, just as like, I mean, it's lined, it's got inside, like there were no corners really cut. It's not like it was just sort of like, you know, thrown together or some like chintzy, no, like this was an actual sort of.
Well, in literal terms, there were corners cut.
Oh,
but
all right,
in
David.
figurative terms, not so much.
Real funny. I'm somewhat afraid to touch the camera for fear of breaking it, but Yes, Fox Coat, also one of my favorites too. We talked a little about wax canvas yesterday. Just love the look of wax canvas. It's very nice. Yeah, right. Well, it's got the wax itself is heavy. It's a heavy product.
Yeah, folding them is
Yeah, that might be an edge guide.
Imagine. Pretty water resistant though, so that's nice.
Yeah.
We were outside today and it was raining. And, David had something on that is water resistant, waterproof. Certainly worked better than what I had on. Instagram, favorite phone?
Yeah, I did. So I found it. I figured out what was wrong. AI bot of flagged our thinking we were robots.
What? Because I was sewing so well? Like what?
I have no idea. But I put in a request. Say no, we are not robots.
So this is getting pretty close to done. I mean, it's almost there.
I thought you said this was going to take like 6 hours or whatever.
What? How long has it taken?
It's been less than 2 hours, David.
Oh,
You said
Well,
you
I'm
were
sorry.
thinking it would take 3 earlier today.
the first time I made one of these, it took me 3.5 hours. So I was basing it on that. Like I said, it was estimation, and I've made some changes to it, so it's hard to know how much those changes affected it. So I'm sorry, we may have to cut this stream shorter than, I mean, we could sit around for an extra hour if we want, but that may not be necessary.
It's fine. We'll be here for 2 more days.
Yeah.
We've already taken almost as long as we have yesterday. Seems to have gone a lot smoother today, what with the cameras not breaking every 10 minutes and having everything set up beforehand.
Yep. We got flagged way earlier on Instagram. It's like we're just like super efficient today.
Got the Instagram flagging out of the way.
They told us, Jim was like, we are protecting the community. We're sorry, but we have to restrict.
Does that mean we can't go back to the stream? Or?
Keep sending.
They have to like review it, I'm assuming.
And they're like, oh, you can just.
All right. This is the fun part. So now I have to sew a seam from this edge like all the way down by adding the whole side of the cloak on both sides. This is where it becomes sewing a tent.
What was it before if not sewing a tent?
What?
What was it before if not sewing a tent?
Well, this is where it looks like you're sewing a tent as opposed to sewing together small pieces of fabric like a jacket or something.
Got you.
You're right. It's never been sewing a tent, and it won't ever be because it's not a tent. But
Yeah, right.
we'll need bigger tables. The sewing machine is the same when you're sewing a tent. You just have huge tables next to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
How many tents have you sewn?
yeah.
My first job was at a backpack factory, which you would think means that I wouldn't be making tents because it's backpacks. But
I have no preconceived notions about the goings on in a backpack factory.
the backpacks that we made were specially designed for adventure racing, which is cycling out in the desert or wherever. So they would have these long, desert cycling races, and the company I work for would also make like covers for like easy up tents and stuff like that. For he had this whole setup for solar powered air conditioning tents for like the medic tents and stuff. Yeah. Well, it's out in the desert and people get heat stroke.
Yeah, I just never really thought about a tent having a
Yeah.
cooling system. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that was really cool, and we would get these digital printed, like we would get these printed tents that had the whole like logo or whatever on it, like all over all the sides, and I'd have to cut those out, those, because I was a fabric cutter at the time. And we used a saw to cut through layers of fabric to make backpacks, because these were like each of these tents was custom and they were custom printed. The pattern pieces were printed on like white fabric, so I just have to cut out the lines. That all had to happen by hand. And also we had to outgas them because they were, it's this like weird digital printing sublimation process that just stank.
Look weird, but that work?
Yeah, it's a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the Discord said Volante tent win. You're watching the inaugural sewing of the Volante tent. Trademark.
The personal tent. No assembly required.
Could be a operator system, but it turns into a tent.
I love it.
I mean, poncho is, I mean, it's not a tent, but if you had a big enough poncho, I guess you could sort of make it a tent.
Yeah, this has the hood. You could just put a stick in the ground and put the hood on it.
I mean, honestly,
And then just fetal position around the stick.
David's sitting like 10 feet in front of me, but I can see it better from the camera on the stream, so I'm watching the stream instead of watching it.
See, now you're sucked into the stream. It's great.
I was doing that yesterday. It was like easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea what it looks like from that angle.
I think it looked, so we moved the camera closer and higher and pointed it down, so you
Great.
can still see like barely your face, and I also increased the brightness, the exposure a little bit, so you can see you can see the stitching a little bit better than you could yesterday. So
There.
it was underexposing for the light yesterday, so. We'll do more of a reveal today. We'll have you put it on off camera and then step in front of it
Yeah. Here I am,
dramatically.
shoving the, just blocking the camera. Man, it would have been good if I'd done this one yesterday, because we were out there in the rain today.
Although what you had on was pretty waterproof as well, so.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
What did David have on? Tune in later this week. Here's where we need the soundboard too.
Yeah.
We haven't answered any questions that we got this week. Those live in the...
Yep, it's just called Livestream question.
All right, cool. We have, in case y'all didn't tune in yesterday, we have some questions.
It's either of those. The April.
We have some questions that viewers submitted. Which is it? I don't think it's still open. We have a lot of questions.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's closed currently. So let's see here. Which of your products do you wear the most? That's interesting.
Mm.
What do you wear the most from you?
So when I go to shows, I wear the tune crop a lot. Also the AJ5. I found those two the most comfortable and also really breathable because when you're in a convention, like, it gets kind of hot. So those are my go-tos.
David probably wears like a ninja shirt every day, pretty much. Like you had one on earlier today. And the Seco pants too. David has those on constantly. I don't know if it's just easy to wear them or...
It's great. I love them.
The question was, what do you wear the most? Like,
The
what...
Seco pants, I mean, yeah, those are just, I mean, but those are every day. I don't wear a jacket to work all the time because it's whatever, but I can wear pants. I do wear pants all year round. So, you know, so those I do wear. I think probably that's what I've worn the most in the last couple of years. The Jonin is my go-to jacket. I've also got a sort of proto Augment J5. That's the only one of its kind that I wear. So that's a great one. I think everybody should get that one.
Special custom.
Yeah.
Custom made David Volante special.
I did buy during the holiday season. I bought the Bounty Hunter for my brother because he's a huge fan of what it's inspired by. And he loves it. He wears it all the time.
I have only been here for like 3 weeks, so I don't really have anything yet. Plus, it's like I kind of got hired at the wrong time. I started working here like now, which is kind of early spring, and so I was looking forward to getting like a nice coat and wearing it for the winter, and now it's like warm, so much for that.
Well, you get some credit after the first month, so.
Yeah, it's too late now though. It's not gonna be cold anymore.
We have shirts.
That's true.
And pants.
That's true.
A cloak.
Maybe I'll grab one of these special one-off pieces. Oh, they're too small. He makes them in David size though. I don't know why you can't just make them like one size bigger. Oh, when you're sewing, what's your go-to music playlist? I can answer this. You don't have to, David. I walk by David's office from time to time, and he's not necessarily sewing, but it is like the hypest thing you could ever imagine. It's just beats. It's just there's not even any rhythm. It's just beats. Just the dankest. What? It's like, and it's always the same thing too. Haley knows. You can just hear it. It just permeates the office sometimes. We're like, oh, David's in there again. He's got his beats on.
You just haven't refined your palate. It's not the same thing. It's different all the time. It's a live radio station. It's always playing new stuff.
Right.
It's running 24/7.
What if it's just the same song over and over again and you've never been able to tell? Yeah, think about
because
that one.
because there are specific tracks that I like that they do play every once in a while.
Okay. It's not. He's lying. It's the same thing over and over again. It's like 47 days of the same music, and then it just repeats after that. It's like a number station, like from the Cold War, except it's sick beats, and David just listens to it day in and day out.
Anyone can listen to it. It's running all the time. It's bassdrive.com. I will always plug them
David's
because I've been listening to it for 15 years straight.
Nice. Need some sponsors for these live streams.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's good. Since we're sort of wrapping things up here, we'll probably focus on more. See if Willow gets a chance to be on stream at some point.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably itching to have some input on some of these.
Yeah, a lot of the questions are like catered toward, business and growing it and
So I realized, remember our discussion of USB 3.0 yesterday? I realized our internet was slower like, remember we were like dropping some bandwidth. We were plugged into the USB 2.0 port instead of a USB 3.0 port. So we weren't like getting the correct bandwidth for that. Because of course we weren't,
All right. Aside from the hem, we're almost there.
All right.
If I can get it to cooperate and not fall off the table.
It is like gotten larger somehow.
It's bigger on the outside.
I don't even know what that means. Somebody, I think it was on Discord, somebody like logged in. They said, "Oh wow, look at David's back stream." Because he was just turning around, top stitching.
So there's a lot of top stitching on this one. Surprise, surprise. But
That's fine.
I was gonna say how quiet it gets when eerie it feels.
Yeah, well, you get used to hearing it, like things making noise for a while,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they don't. All right, well, we've got some downtime here. David, he's finishing up. I'm gonna go. I'll go pan the camera around a little bit, give people a view. We've talked about the office in here, or the production side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll pan around a little bit, and you wanna narrate what I'm looking at as I pan around to it?
Mm-hmm. The nice shiny iron. Yeah. I believe those are all like stitching. Yeah, like 6. Yeah. We got some nice empty bins holding our setup. All the ports. The Curious machine. Yeah.
Are you ready for the big reveal?
Are we ready?
All right.
You'll just go around to the side or
Yeah.
like step.
Yeah, but
Oh.
maybe you should mute me before I put it on because it'll make some noise.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
we still put on the.
Yep. Yeah.
So the side panel is shorter by a few inches here so that you can get your hand out and have some protection there. You've got, I can figure out which way the zipper opens. There it is. Mm-hmm.
Definitely pretty relevant.
Yeah. I can get my arms wet if I want to. Well, if there's a front and a back, these are the sleeves, I guess. Squirrel.
Someone asked, what abilities does that cloak come with?
Man, I wish I was witty.
Right. Yep. Good.
So, like, when you make this, did you have a vision of like other things that people would be wearing it with, or do you kind of just like make it, without that in mind, or?
I mean, I do. Mostly with this, it's a rain cloak, so you can wear it with anything. I think I'll recommend it with the Seco pants. You can sort of double up. You could wear. I mean, you can wear it with anything. I mean, if you're wearing it with the Chunin, for instance, that's not a rainproof jacket, but it still has that ninja style. So you can then but you're mostly just like revealing it, like whatever you're wearing underneath. That's the whole point of a rain cloak, is to protect the underlayer, but also this sort of is designed to look cool. It looks especially cool when draped over a chair.
Yeah, definitely. I think it definitely could go with a lot of things.
Yeah,
And it's, you know, the fact that it's like really functional. I like those massive pockets on it too. Like
Mm-hmm.
put all kinds of stuff in there. So much room for activities.
And the nice thing, I mean, these pockets are sort of separated from, so they're sort of free floating.
Yeah, I can see the layering
Yeah.
aspect you were talking about.
Yeah, it adds to that layering, but it also means that since it's free floating, you can sort of fill it up differently. Like if it was attached, if it was like patched all the way down, it sort of held in place. Whereas this gives it a full, you can use the area of the bag of the pocket as much as you need to, depending on what shape you're putting in there.
I like how the inside also has some. It has some contrast. Like the color, it's a little bit lighter too.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about this material too. It's maybe not the most comfortable to wear against your skin because it probably wouldn't be anyway. It's not, which is to say, it's not silk, but it does have like feel that it does have this kind of
Oh, yeah.
cool sort of silky feel to it. Yeah, and you've got the zipper is in here on the sort of armhole opening, so you can, if it's like a storm, you can zip those closed and really protect.
Make the screen a little bigger there. All right, very cool. And you really got
That's right.
efficiency down there.
2 hours and 15 minutes. That's
Yeah.
Perfect.
yeah.
All right, well, I think this is probably a good place to sign off. You want to lean in here, Haley, so you're in this shot too.
True.
So,
Oh.
thank you guys for joining again. We'll be here tomorrow to 2 o'clock, 2:30 ish.
Yeah. 2, I believe.
Okay. Be working on. We announced what you're working on tomorrow. Yeah.
We haven't announced yet.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Working on something.
But
cool.
it is a women's product.
All right.
So
And it's
hopefully Willow will be feeling better. She'll be able to be here. It'll be exciting to have her with part of that.
it's also something I've heard like people mention.
Yeah.
Oh, when's this thing making a return? So. All right. Awesome. So we will hopefully see you tomorrow.
Right on. Thanks for
Bye.
joining, everyone.
Yeah.